Ready to explore some really fascinating ideas with me today? We're going to take a deep dive into the quantum leap strategy.
Sounds exciting.
This book by Pritchett really challenges us to think differently about achieving those massive exponential jumps forward.
Not just the little steps, right?
Exactly, those quantum leaps that completely change the game in our work and our personal lives.
I like where this is going.
It all starts with this great analogy. Think back to those Chinese
Oh,
handcuffs.
I remember those.
The harder you pulled your fingers out,
The tighter they got.
right. Pritchett argues that so many of us approach challenges in the exact same way. Our instinct is to push harder, but that just keeps us stuck.
So we're the ones creating the trap.
In a way, yes.
Hmm.
This quantum leap strategy is about recognizing when that happens and finding a totally new path to break free.
And that freedom takes us to those goals, those big achievements that seem almost impossible.
Exactly. So we've got the analogy, but what's a quantum leap actually look like? How's it different from just steady progress?
Imagine a staircase. Gradual improvement takes you up one step at a time.
Makes sense.
But a quantum leap, well, that's like teleporting to a whole other floor. Suddenly you're at a completely different level.
So it's not linear, it's explosive growth. Okay, sign me up. But hold on. Pritchett also talks about these pitfalls, these traps that stop us from taking those leaps.
He calls them out, doesn't he? He identifies 14 common traps that hold us back.
And I have a feeling we've all fallen into at least one of them.
Probably more than one, if we're honest. Two that stand out are the be reasonable trap and the more of the same trap.
Ooh, those sound familiar. Let's break those down.
Okay, so the be reasonable trap is when we set limits on ourselves. We only aim for what seems achievable instead of going for what we truly desire.
That inner voice that whispers, don't get your hopes up.
Exactly. And the more of the same trap is when we're stuck in a rut. Our methods aren't working, but we just keep doing the same thing over and over.
See, because we just keep pushing, it'll
Yeah.
eventually work, right?
That's the hope, but sometimes we need to completely change our approach to see real results.
So how do we escape these traps? Pritchett offers some tools, I imagine.
Oh, he does. One of the most interesting concepts he presents is the 12-minute quantum leap ritual.
A ritual. I'm intrigued. What's that all about?
It's this simple but powerful practice designed to connect us with what he calls unseen forces.
Unseen forces, huh? Sounds a bit mysterious.
Think of it as tapping into a source of energy and support that's always there, but we don't always see it. Like aligning ourselves with the universe to achieve our goals.
That's a powerful image. Okay, so walk me through this 12-minute ritual.
The first step is to clearly define your goal. Write it down, make it real, then spend some time visualizing achieving it. Really immerse yourself in that feeling of success.
So it's like creating a mental movie of reaching your goal.
Precisely. Then take your written goal and read it aloud. Engaging different senses can really solidify your intention.
I can see how that would make it feel more tangible.
And finally, take a few moments for reflection. What insights came up during the process? What action steps can you take next?
It sounds almost like a meditation, a way to focus your energy and connect with your deepest aspirations.
It is, in a way. And even if the idea of unseen forces seems a bit abstract, the beauty of this ritual is that it can really shift our mindset.
It's like preparing your mind for success, getting your thoughts and actions in sync with your goals.
Now, Pritchett also talks about opening your gifts, which I think is a really important idea.
Opening your gifts.
Yeah.
It makes me think of discovering those hidden talents and abilities we all have inside us, but maybe we haven't tapped into yet.
You got it. It's about acknowledging our strengths and figuring out how to use them to reach our full potential.
Not looking for some outside source of power, but finding that strength within ourselves.
Exactly. It's about trusting in our own capabilities and pushing past those limits we often place on ourselves.
This is all really powerful stuff. We're just scratching the surface of the quantum leap strategy.
You know, one thing that really struck me in the quantum leap strategy is how much Pritchett talks about passion.
Like it's the fuel for those quantum leaps.
Exactly. He says we need to fall in love with our goals.
Not just set them and work toward them, but really feel that deep connection.
It's about finding goals that resonate with our values and dreams.
So the journey itself becomes something we enjoy.
Right. When we're passionate about something, the effort doesn't feel like a burden.
It makes sense, but passion can fade.
Mm-hmm.
How do we keep that fire burning, especially when things get tough?
Well, Pritchett has some interesting advice about that. He tells us to make your move before you're ready.
Wait, really? Isn't it better to wait until we feel totally prepared?
He actually argues that taking action creates its own momentum.
I've never thought about it like that.
He says that waiting for the perfect moment often leads to procrastination.
And we miss out on opportunities,
So it's more about embracing that risk, that leap of faith.
even when we don't have all the answers.
Exactly. It's about trusting that we'll learn and adapt as we go.
Which reminds me of another thing Pritchett talks about, seeking failure,
He doesn't mean we should aim to fail, of course.
but that we should see setbacks as opportunities to learn.
Absolutely. He encourages us to reframe failure as feedback.
And this idea of pushing our boundaries, stepping outside our comfort zone, seems to be a big theme in the book,
It is. He suggests that we actively seek out discomfort.
because that's where the growth happens.
Exactly. He argues that discomfort is often a sign we're on the right track.
Like we're breaking through those limitations we've set for ourselves.
Which brings us to another key aspect as challenging conventional thinking.
So questioning those assumptions we've always held about what's possible,
Precisely, it's about opening ourselves up to a wider view of our potential.
like giving ourselves permission to dream bigger and bolder,
And not just dream, but act to take those dreams and turn them into reality.
because dreams without action are just that, dreams.
And this connects back to the idea of speed. Pritchett talks about achieving quantum leaps in less time with less effort.
That sounds almost impossible. How do we do that?
It's about working smarter, not harder.
Focusing on the activities that really make a difference.
Exactly, and eliminating those things that drain our energy and don't contribute to our goals.
I think we've all felt that being busy but not really productive.
Pritchett encourages us to prioritize what truly matters, even if it means saying no to things we enjoy.
So being intentional with our time and energy is key.
Absolutely. But we also need support sometimes. What about those times when we feel stuck or uncertain?
That's when having the right people around us can make all the difference.
Pritchett talks about the importance of surrounding ourselves with people who believe in us.
People who challenge us to grow and inspire us to reach higher.
Mentors, collaborators, a whole network of support.
Like that saying, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together.
It's a powerful reminder that we can achieve so much more when we have support.
And not just seeking support, but offering it to others as well.
Paying it forward, sharing our own knowledge and experience.
Creating a culture of growth and empowerment,
Exactly. Pritchett envisions a world where these principles become the norm.
where limitations are seen as opportunities and setbacks are seen as stepping stones.
A world where innovation and creativity thrive.
It's an inspiring vision, and it all starts with each of us taking those quantum leaps in our own lives. I love how Pritchett connects these personal quantum leaps to a larger impact on the world. It's like our individual growth has a ripple effect.
It does. It's like those expanding circles you see in a pond. Each person's leap can inspire and uplift others.
Like the butterfly effect, right? A small action can create huge change.
Exactly. Pritchett argues that each of us has the power to spark those ripples.
It's a call to action. It's about embracing our potential and creating a world where growth is the norm.
And it starts with an internal shift, challenging those old beliefs and embracing the possibility of amazing achievements.
It's about realizing that we have the power to shape our own lives, to create our own quantum leaps.
And by doing that, we inspire others to do the same. Imagine a world where everyone embraces these ideas.
Where limitations are seen as opportunities and setbacks are just stepping stones.
A world full of potential where creativity and innovation flourish.
It's a powerful vision. As we wrap up our deep dive into the quantum leap strategy, let's give our listeners some food for thought.
What area of your life could use a quantum leap? Is there a big dream you've been putting off? What would it look like to pursue that dream with passion and bold action?
Remember, you don't need all the answers. You don't have to feel perfectly prepared. Just take that first step, that leap of faith.
Embrace the journey with all its ups and downs, welcome those challenges, and get ready to see yourself achieve those leaps that once felt impossible.
The power to transform your life, and maybe even the world, is within you. It's time to unleash it. And for those who like a good summary, let's recap the 10 key takeaways from the quantum leap strategy.
Wonderful idea. Let's start with the first. Quantum leaps are those significant exponential improvements, not just incremental gains. It's about achieving breakthroughs that propel us forward.
Second, the Chinese handcuffs analogy reminds us that sometimes trying harder keeps us trapped. We need to find those unconventional approaches, those shifts in perspective that unlock progress.
Third, we discussed the 14 common traps that hold us back. Things like limiting ourselves with reasonableness, lacking passion, and fearing failure.
Fourth, we explored the 12-minute quantum leap ritual, which helps us connect with those unseen forces that support our journey.
Fifth, remember to open your gifts. Recognize and utilize those inherent talents and abilities you possess.
Sixth, fall in love with your goal. Let passion be your driving force.
Seventh, challenge that idea of waiting for the perfect moment. Take action before you feel ready, learn, and adapt as you go.
Eighth, embrace setbacks as valuable learning experiences. Push your boundaries and discover your true potential.
Ninth, step outside your comfort zone. Welcome discomfort as a sign of growth.
And 10th, remember that the quantum leap strategy empowers you to take control of your life and achieve amazing results.
So listeners, go out there and pursue your quantum leaps. The world is waiting to see what you can achieve.